What is going on out there, peeps? Okay, I was going to do a video about this earlier, but it kind of felt corny at first, to be quite honest with you, because, I had this freaky dream about a phoenix, and I thought, it's a corny dream. But I'm going to get into that here in just a second. Just let me remind you guys that if you're thinking about buying precious metals, go check out our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange. The link is in the description. If you are a first time buyer, and you spend more than $100 on precious metals, please use promo code Pimpy, and get your free half ounce of silver. You guys know I'm over here on Twitter because I got the boot. I'm a political prisoner off Facebook. So, anyways, I decided after I was talking to my friend, I go, she's into that whole try to, you know, analyze what dreams mean. So I said, it sounds corny. It really does when you think about it. So she's like, well, just tell me what you saw. I seen the bird. It was on fire. At first I thought, wow, this poor bird must have flown through some a fire, like a forest fire, and caught on fire. It just kept flying. Is what it looked like. And it was a little bird, not a big ass bird. It was a little one. And then she goes, okay. And I go, but the little bird, um, it fell down onto the ground. And poof, just the fire went out. There was smoke coming off of it. It was just all black. It was burnt. I was staring at it and I was trying to figure out what the hell happened to the bird. And then, so I started to walk away. And probably because I've been stressing over these last couple of days about this election, was what I was saying. That when I turned around, the bird was standing up alive. It wasn't burnt. There was no smoke. And right above it was a Trump 2020 sign. Now, when I woke up, I thought, that's corny. It's because I've been stressing and fussing and watching the news about this election. She said, what happened to the bird? Oh, I said, oh, it freaking started to grow, man. It grew. It got really super big. And then it was on fire, but not like fire. I mean, it was fire, but not like, like when it was little. It's different. It's like it purposely put itself on fire. And she goes, like a phoenix. And I go, yeah, like a phoenix. She goes, did the phoenix rise up from the ashes? And I go, well, I mean, technically, if you think about it, it kind of did. I don't want to add to the dream and try to make puzzle pieces fit. I go, but when a little bird crashed onto the ground, I mean, it was crispy, it was burnt pretty good. So technically, yeah, I guess you could say it was standing on itself. She goes, yeah, it's a phoenix rising from the ashes that has meaning. And then I thought, okay, so I'll share with you what she was saying. To me, it's one of those things, I could take it or leave it, but it is very interesting. And then let's see if we can actually put some meaning behind this. Now, again, this type of stuff, I do think dreams have meanings, but it just really depends on the dream itself. This particular dream, at first, I didn't think much of it. After talking to my friend, I really thought it sounded corny. After she kept calling me, we kept talking about it. Maybe it does mean something. What? I don't know. But before I go on about this story, here's what happened. Last night, I fell asleep after I've read this message. It was sent to me by a person on Twitter, of course. And for the life of me, I'm spacing it right now, the name. So I apologize, but you know who you are. So this is what it said. Joe M. We all know Joe M's the one that did these videos about the plan, the whole 9 yards. It's involved in the QAnon stuff. So I said, okay, so she sent me this, or he sent me this, I'm not sure. It says, surprised that some followed the miracle of the plan for 3 years and marveled at its sophistication, but for the first time are willing to forget everything we have learned about the art of war. So again, I'm a huge fan of the Q movement. I am, but like I said, that with anything that I pay attention to, there's always some level of cautiousness and there's some level of skepticism. There's a reason for that. But was a huge fan of Q, but I didn't follow it as much as other people did. That's why when I do videos, I'll say to you, did Q say that? Because I know some of you out there really do pay attention. It said, remember the midterms. We couldn't understand why we lost the House. Then it all made sense. We kept the Senate because we needed the Senate. We lost the House because we didn't want the House. Now, I do remember Trump campaigning only for Senate members, not House members, which I did think was very interesting. But yeah, so I can go along with this because I can put what this person is saying to what I actually saw. Trump did campaign for his Senate people, but did not campaign for House people. We kept the Senate because we needed the Senate. We lost the House because we didn't want the House. We want them to expose their crimes through impeachment and many other fraud like withholding, pandemic relief, etc. Okay, so I get it. I get that plan. Having said that as well, this is what I was talking about. Trump always seems to be 5 steps ahead of everybody. I made the argument that if ever there was a time, or I should say Q, and Q and Trump together, if there ever was a time that we had undeniable proof that a time machine exists, this might be the time, because it's uncanny the way these deep state members continue to constantly walk into traps being set up by Trump. So when I had my little episode and I was pissed off about the election, what I was more bearing down on was this whole thing about there being clones. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, people. Look what's happening right in front of you. You could see what's happening. So, and then, I was wondering, it looked like these people were going to literally be able to steal this election, which is one of my biggest fears, and I expressed why. So then I said, and I made a comment because I brought it up before. I said in the video before, once or twice before, we better hope Trump is not the boogeyman. All hell broke loose. I'm a huge supporter of Trump's. I really am. But what I'm saying is this. Anytime we deal with stuff like this, it has been through experience, and I've learned my lesson many a times. You can't always trust what you see. So I was telling people, just in case, you should think about the possibilities of something different. And people got bent. So let's get back to this. What happened yesterday is as much as part of the plan as everything else. It has been flawlessly executed, and we have lured the enemy countless times into traps when they thought we were losing. True, I've noticed that. Almost every single time these people take the bait and they fall for it. In one way or another, Trump has come out shining. So I'm not going to deny that that is the truth. Now, for those of you who have not heard of a prophet called Kim Clement prophesied about Trump becoming president after Obama. He said that God had specifically put Trump there, and that Trump would serve 2 terms, and they would try to impeach him twice. So I thought it was interesting, and he said that God said, no, you're not going to be able to impeach him, because he said he had a plan. God is talking about. God said that he had a plan that was so magnificent that people would not understand how magnificent it was until after it was over. And then you would realize that that plan could have only been possible by God. And I thought, wow, that's interesting, because you see, Kim Clement made this prophecy, I believe, in 2009. So as you can see, he had a pretty good jump before 7 years or so before Trump went into office, and I believe he brought it up again in 2014. So, anyways, what Joe seems to be saying here is that, look, everything we're seeing is part of the plan. They are walking right into it. I hope so, because let me just tell you something. All these things, the way our government has been acting, the weaponization of our intelligence communities, the weaponization of our IRS, the weaponization of our media, the weaponization of our social media platforms, this can't be no more. That we cannot have this anymore. So you're going to have to thank God that Trump is the one in office, because he appears to be the only person that is willing to do this at the moment. Anyways, Joe goes on to say, now is no different. We will soon see why this had to happen. Don't ruin these few days ahead for yourself with worry. Remember what you have learned about Trump and Q. They simply cannot lose, no matter how it looks. Military grade. Keep enjoying the show. So I said, okay, and I sat back and I started to think about this when I went to sleep, and I'm thinking that's why, because look, I'm thinking this is why I had that freaky dream. Kind of cool. We will get into it. Anyway, so this was sent along with the post from Joe. It says, it was all a sting. The ballots were watermarked, and this man appointed by Trump helped pull it off. Watch the watermark, the lawsuits, the fake ballots tossed. The agency was founded after the 2018 midterms. Okay, so what are they saying? So here's my question about this. So if each state electoral board is responsible for giving out their ballots for people to vote on, and they're saying that a watermark was put on the real ones, and that the fake ones that they're bringing in will not have the watermark, well then where are they getting these other ballots from? It would seem to me they would get them from the same batch and fill them out that they are getting from the legal ones. Or am I looking at this wrong? See what I'm saying? If you're like, hey, we need like about 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 ballots, no problem. And your state commission goes up, or state electoral board goes, hey, look, we're going to need about 500,000 ballots just in case. Fine. And you take like 200,000 of them and you use it for your nefarious plans. Wouldn't they have the watermark on there? That's what I was thinking. But after chatting with some people, the belief is that China, along with these conniving Democrats, actually made photocopies of these, is what they did. And if that's the case, then a watermark will not be on there. But more importantly, once we figure out this, we need to investigate. And now I'm not talking about freaking William Barr, Bill Durham's 700-year investigation saying you're trying to get to the bottom of it. We need some real people to get in there. We need like an agency of independent investigators to go in there and do their job, and then start throwing people in jail. You do realize that rigging an election is a form of coup against Trump. It is a coup. This is a treasonous act. So I'm thinking, after I read this and I seen this bird, is why the bird kind of popped into my head. Maybe I'm trying to, of course, fit together why the hell I had a dream about a phoenix is what it is. So anyways, if you come over here, something very interesting. I'm sure most of you guys know this. So what does a phoenix rising from the ashes mean? A new phoenix rises from the ashes of its dead predecessors. This is a symbol of rebirth, hope, renewal, progress, end of oppression, and eternity. It is no wonder that the beautiful bird has inspired many tales, poems, and even legends. So I was like, okay, here I am trying to force this together, because I'm not very good at analyzing every dream. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there that are good about this. So I started talking to my friend, she's good at it. I said, hey, if this is the meaning of the rise of the phoenix, could it be a symbol, since the Trump 2020 sign was in there? Could it be that after everybody thinks that Trump is dead in this election, that he would then rise up? She goes, it could be. And then new hope, a new era, a new time. You do understand that in Trump's second term, he doesn't have to be nice anymore because he's not worried about re-election. I'm expecting Trump to raise holy hell, is what I'm expecting, and unleash an unbelievable ass whipping on these evil bastards from the other side. So I thought about it. The dream was corny. I didn't think much of it. And then my friend called me up and she says, what are the states that we're having problems with? I said, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, North Carolina, Nevada, Alaska. I mean, there's a bunch of them. And I go, in Arizona. She goes, Arizona. And I go, actually, right now, Arizona's kind of a big deal. She goes, why is that? I said, because they gave it to Joe Biden already. They did it way too early. So that would be points taken from Joe Biden, 11, and given to Trump. Technically, Trump should have won this state. And it looks like he's going to. So we played around on the internet. Lo and behold, one of the people, one of the last areas to count, I believe, which was just mentioned by the Electoral Commission, one of the last places, and most likely the last place in Arizona to get their ballots in and their votes counted, as you can guess, Phoenix. Yeah. I was like, what are the odds? I mean, that could just be quiddinky, of course, because I'm not one of these people that go, I don't want to force two pieces together, but that is kind of strange. For you people out there that do this kind of stuff and you're into this dream stuff, what do you think? Because I got an idea of what happened. I mean, I went to bed stressing and pissed off about this election. I did read this, what Joe said. And then I did read this. And there is a bird there. And I'm kind of I don't have no doubt that somehow, some way, even though I don't think that's a phoenix. But nonetheless, I'm pretty sure that's how that bird snuck into my dream. So what is a dream? Is that what this means? Are we about to see the rebirth of Donald Trump when everybody had counted him out and thought he was dead in the water? Let me know what you guys think. I wasn't going to share this because I thought it was really corny, and I still think it is corny, to be quite honest with you. But my friends, like, the more we talked about it, again, I'm just kind of out there trying to keep my mind off the 24-hour news cycle. It will make you pull your hair out. Okay? And people, just because I tell you should think about what ifs does not mean I don't support or I don't think Trump will win. I'm just saying, boy howdy, we should be aware of all possibilities at all times. So, if Joe M is right, like everybody said, trust the plan. Well, I'll trust the plan that Kim Clement talked about, and that's the one that God had laid out. And if that's the same plan as Q has laid out, then so be it. I'll trust the plan. I'll just kick back and watch what's happening without stressing is what I'll do. Oh, and one more thought. And this is really far-fetched, but just think about this. You see, people keep expecting John F. Kennedy Jr. to come out. And remember Q said, wait till you find out who Q is? And I said to my friend, wouldn't it be mind-blowing if you found out that the person behind Q was actually Jesus Christ coming back? I know, I'm just messing with you guys, but that would be freaky, don't lie. You'd be like, where's JFK? Who's the dude with the potato sack on and flip-flops? It looks like the Zigzag Man. Oh my God, that's Jesus. Nonetheless, you guys, anyways, I thought this was a freaky dream, and I thought, man, all right, I'll go ahead and share it, because my friend's like, share it, because she's curious as to what other people think it mean. Me, I just think it's just a coinkydink because of the thing I read and was a little picture of the bird, but the fact that a little bird was on fire, hit the ground, it landed underneath the Trump 2020 sign. It was all burnt, crispy, and smoking. I saw it. When I tried to walk away and turn around, the bird was standing up, and then it grew into a huge bird, and that bird ended up being a phoenix. What does it mean? I don't know, but I'm curious as to what you guys think it might mean. Chime in on this, man. Hit the comments. Let me know what you guys think, all right? No more stressing. Let's just watch the show. But having said that, I don't think there's no damn clones out there, people, right? I do believe this is part of the plan, and we're going to go ahead and watch it. Um, yeah, I think like many other people, I'm just really passionate about the fact that I want to make sure that Trump is in there a second term. This man has done so much already. And by the way, my predictions were right. I told you, don't be surprised if Trump don't set a record for the highest minority votes by a Republican, or a Republican to get the most minority votes. I think he's more than 1.5 times the black vote, and I think it was almost 2 times the Latino vote. So that should not be a surprise to you. Oh, and I said the other one was, and I have to look it up, that Trump would set a record for getting votes by Democrats too. So we'll see, because they're still out there counting. We'll see what the final total will be. But I still am going out on a limb to say that Trump will have set a record for a Republican president. He's going to set a record for getting the most black votes, the most Latino votes, and the most Democratic votes is what I'm calling for. All right, you guys let me chime in on this. Let me know what you guys think about this dream. I think it's kind of freaky, but you guys might know more than I do. Nonetheless, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.